He really wants to die this night, she thought, when she heard him knocking on the door. And if it wasn't for the fact that Rife was still here, she felt like she could really easily kill him. Just in case he was trying to pull another one of his tricks, she ran to the door and stood with her back to it to prevent him from busting into their room. It turned out he wanted to apologize for embarrassing them in front of Rife, but the girls just looked at each other. They had never apologized to each other before, and the girls both knew it had to have been Rife's idea. I swear, Matt had better not say anything to me ever again, Ned said, banging her fist into her pillow as she walked back to her bed. Well, I guess that's it for me. Rife will never speak to me now. Yes, he will. He's going to be laughing at me as soon as I walk in that class tomorrow, and he'll probably have the story all over school. How is he going to have the story all over school when he doesn't even know that many people there yet? Before her sister could answer her, the girls heard Rife calling to them from the hallway, saying good night and letting them know he had nothing to do with what had happened. See, you don't have anything to worry about. He had nothing to do with this whole thing. And you believe him? Matt probably told him to say that so we wouldn't know what they were up to. You're wrong. I heard the two of them arguing earlier, and Rife sounded pretty mad. And how do you know they didn't make it sound like they were mad because they knew we would be listening? Oh, come on, Vet. Give the guy a chance. He said he was sorry, so at least wait and see what happens tomorrow before you write him off altogether. Nope, I don't have anything to say to him or Rife. Are you serious? Leave me alone, Ned. I said I don't want to have anything to do with him. You are so stupid. How are you going to pass up on a fine guy like him just because Matt did a dumb prank? We do pranks on each other all the time, and you don't see nobody else walking around acting like it's the end of the world, do you? You're stupid. And so what if I don't want to talk to Rife? So you just got finished saying you thought he was cute and you wanted to talk to him. That's what. So I changed my mind. No, you didn't. You're just mad at Matt and taking it out on Rife. So what, Ned? You act like you're Rife's bodyguard or something. I just want you to be happy, that's all. And I think you and Rife would be good together. Don't lie, Ned. You know you don't really want me to have Rife. I saw the way you were looking at him, and I heard you in jail at lunch. I know you had planned to get him for yourself, so go get him. Yeah, I did want to get with him at first, but so what? You said you like him, so he's yours. Have fun. He's not mine, and he's not yours either. He doesn't belong to anybody, so help yourself because I don't want him. You know what I think? I think you're scared. Scared of what? I think you're scared of boys. I think you're stupid. No, really. I think you're afraid of boys, and that's why you don't go out with them or let them call you, right? Leave me alone. I'm going to sleep. Admit it, Vet. You're afraid, aren't you? Shut up and leave me alone. Come on, what's the matter? You might as well admit it. You're afraid of boys, aren't you? I told you to leave me alone, and I'm not playing. I have a headache, and I'm going to sleep, and I'm not afraid of boys, especially not Rife. Like I said, I think you're afraid, but I wouldn't sleep on Rife either. When he talks to you, I wouldn't waste a lot of time trying to make up my mind. There are lots of girls out there that would love to get a chance to get at him, and here he was in our house. And speaking of that, just because he was in our house doesn't mean he wants to talk to me. He could want to talk to you. I can tell when a guy wants to talk to me, and he definitely wants to talk to you. Oh, you're some kind of expert now, huh? No, I just know what I know, and I know he wants to talk to you. And if he doesn't, he will. Yeah, but what if he doesn't? He will. I said if. Look, don't take this the wrong way, but if I see a guy and I decide I want him, he's as good as mine. Same thing if Jell and Chaz see a guy. I make it happen for them. So since you're my sister, know that if you decide you want Rife, he's as good as yours. Forget it. What do you mean? If you have to play some kind of game to get him to talk to me and he doesn't want to talk to me on his own, then forget about it. That's not what I meant. Ned, I was already embarrassed by Matt. If you embarrass me too, I'll never speak to you again in my life. I swear. You're not supposed to swear. I'm serious. Okay, okay. I'm not going to embarrass you. Don't worry. I'm going to bed. Good night. Good night. The girls turned off the lights, crawled into bed, and lay for several minutes with each other caught up in their own private thoughts. As Ned shifted in her bed and turned to face the wall, she looked back over her shoulder and quietly asked her sister, "So are we going to get Matt back or what?" "How you know?" her sister answered. They both smiled to themselves and soon were fast asleep. The rest of the week was uneventful as the girls continued to ignore their brother and enjoy the high school life. Vet was on cloud nine and found it difficult to keep it to herself or concentrate on her studies because Rife was making it quite obvious he was interested in her. The day after the dinner fiasco, he had walked up to her in class and begged her apology again and assured her he had nothing to do with her brother's prank. When she forgave him, he asked if he could sit with her, and soon they were in deep conversation about his favorite pastime, basketball. Vet never really expressed much attention in the sport, but Rife seemed to make the game so much more interesting, and soon she was not only more knowledgeable about the game, but actually looking forward to seeing him play in the game. She couldn't wait to share this information with her sister, and when they got home, they sat for hours and talked about boys and sporting games and seeing boys in shorts, sweating and playing sports. Net was kind of surprised to see her sister so excited, but it was a welcome surprise, and she made herself available every time Vet wanted to talk. At first, it was obvious Vet wanted to keep it on the down low about the attention she was getting from Rife, but soon she was making it common knowledge to everyone in shouting distance. All the girls were excited for her and even a little bit envious because Rife was the hottest guy in school these days. Girls from all over the building seemed to be finding a reason to be passing in front of any room Rife happened to be in, and there was standing room only at basketball practice. The haters that used to whisper whenever the girls walked by were trying to bridge the gap and become their friends in order to get close to Rife. But it was all to no avail. They were met with stony stares and harsh rebukes from Jell, who was all too happy to embarrass them in the most demeaning manner. Vet frowned on this type of abuse and bullying, but because she was happy to be the center of Rife's attention, decided to act like she didn't know what was going on. The only ones that did not make a big deal out of spending time around Rife were Danielle and Sheremy. In fact, they seemed to prefer to be anywhere the new school celebrity wasn't, and that wasn't sitting too well with Net and her little group of friends. I don't know, Joe. Something fishy is going on with Danny and that little skink she hangs around with, Net said to Joe one night on the phone. I know. First she couldn't get enough of Matt, and now all of a sudden she don't want to be within 2 feet of him. I don't trust her for 1 second. And Vet said that Rife told her they almost mauled them at basketball practice the other day. Sounds like her. She is so shallow and desperate. But the reason I can't stand her the most is because I know she don't really like Maddie. She just wants to get next to him to make you and Vet mad. I know, and I'm glad Matt's got enough sense to see right through that little skink. I swear, if he ever got hooked up with her, we would be scrapping every day. And I'd be right in the mix. I'm just looking for an excuse to break her face with a bottle or something. Just as Jill was about to elaborate about her destructive plans for their arch enemies, their conversation was interrupted by a faint beeping sound on the phone, signaling that another call was waiting. Yo, Jill, I have to get off. My mother has a call coming through, said Ned, sounding annoyed. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Answering the waiting call, Ned discovered she was talking to her favorite uncle, TJ. Engaging in small talk, she assured him that she, her brother, and sister were doing well in school, as well as obeying their mother and being helpful around the house. When the subject of boys came up, Net was glad she had arrived at her mother's room and quickly turned it over to her with a brief, I love you and I hope I see you soon. Denise was surprised to be getting a call from her brother this time of night and inwardly prayed he wasn't delivering any more bad news. Hey, big man, to what do I owe this unexpected surprise? Hi, sis. How the heck are you? He asked, sounding a little too jovial for her taste. Well, I'm the heck fine, she answered, feeling uneasier by the minute. That was Net that answered the phone, right? Man, she sounds so much like you. I haven't seen them for a minute. I bet she's a real heartbreaker. Yeah, she is, but don't let her know it. Her head is big enough. And how is everything with your gang? Everybody's doing great. There was a pregnant pause that seemed to grow with every passing second. Denise wanted to wait until TJ found the words to say whatever he seemed reluctant to say, and TJ was waiting for her to ask what the real reason for the call was. So they both sat through a full minute of uncomfortable silence. Finally, not being able to stand it another minute, Denise broke the silence with a heavy sigh and a voice filled with impatience and rebuke. Okay, TJ, enough with the silent treatment. What's going on? I'm sorry, sis. I didn't mean to upset you. It's just that I can't seem to find the words to say what I have to say.